Feudalism, the main social and economic structure of the Middle Ages. You might have already heard of feudalism, but you may not fully understand what it is. Feudalism, in its most basic form, can be explained as a symbiotic exchange of resources. It is often represented as this triangle, where the peasants and serfs, represented in yellow, are at the bottom, then the farmers and merchants, in green, the knights, in red, the noblemen, in blue, and finally, the king in purple. The peasants and serfs produce food and goods for the farmers, which the farmers give to the knights. The knights give their services and protection to the noblemen, and the noblemen give knights and money to the king, and so on until you get a full circle. However, there are a few missing pieces here. First of all, who gave the king the right to all this land and power? Well, if you were to ask him, he would tell you that he was chosen by God. This is where the first major problem with feudalism is. Eventually, some noblemen realized they were giving money to a king in exchange for something they already had, land. So every now and then, the noblemen, with the support of the knights under their command, would remove the king and start what is known as an oligarchy. Another question you might ask is, what about the merchants? And yes, merchants are a missing piece to this puzzle. Most merchants during this time were foreigners, and were relatively independent of the feudal system. Because of this, they were often looked down upon by the locals as suspicious or greedy. They were never respected or liked, but they were allowed to carry on their business because they provided an essential service to feudal kingdoms. Feudalism in Europe was most prominent between the 5th and 12th century, but continued in some areas until the 1800s. Feudalism spread quickly after the fall of Rome, and was useful during the centuries that followed due to the instability of the time. This is why some regions, notably the Byzantine Empire, which was more stable after the fall of Rome than the rest of Europe, never became a fully feudal state. Thanks for watching!